What I would like to present to you is the problem statement that we have in our company. We have a department called the pre-packing, wherein the goods that come from our vendors and the plants, we need to put them into a pack and sell it to our customers. So there are many issues related to this particular activity. Like we particularly use about 150 to 180 casual workmen, temporary workmen. And as is associated with any temporary workmen, the attrition rate is quite high in this particular thing. So we need to sort of ensure that these people are trained, well trained before they start applying, they start their work. Another big problem is the late detection of an error. Like once the part goes into a pack, it's only detected when it is used by the end customer. You won't even know about the error until the end user is wanting to repair his vehicle and he opens a pack and finds it is wrong. So it is very difficult at that point in time to go and correct that particular problem because there is no other way to do it. And God forbid if it happens to an export customer because he has no other way to sort of get that part. So it is extremely important that we make no error in this particular aspect. Because of the nature of the workforce and the kind of steps that one needs to follow, we have more than 24,000 parts in our Kane warehouse. To ensure that we follow a right process for every single part, because each part requires a specific mechanism to pack. Like a radiator will have a different mechanism to pack versus a simple part in a simple pattern. So to ensure that we communicate correctly to end customer, it is very important that we communicate it well. If we make a mistake, that mistake will go right up to the end customer. And it used to be a recurring problem. We always use the textual SOP, and later on it was improved with photographs, but still it was inadequate. We are still getting errors. As you can see in this particular chart, in the first 4 months that we worked on this, our scores were this is a demerit score, which means higher the score, it's not good. If it is lower, then it is better. And demerit is done on the basis of severity of an impact on the end customer. So if we make an error, and if it is impacting my customer directly, it will attract the highest number of marks. And if it is not impacting to that extent, it will have less number of marks. So every time we have an instance of an error, fixed set of marks are given to them. So every single day we measure what our quality scores are. So next day, if my score is less than the previous one, I improved on my quality. But if it is more, then I made an error. That's how we measure it. So as you can see, we were more than our target line also. And the gap was widening, as you can see there. This is a simple snapshot of our earlier SOP, which was improved upon by a photograph as well. I had an unique opportunity to hear Professor Kaneko in our MIQ program, and the kind of detail that this visual SOP gave to us, I thought this is an ideal tool for my company. And it was about a cleaning of an hospital, and somebody will say what is so great about it, but the kind of detail, the kind of like an operation theater, how it has to be cleaned. No, it was very, very visual and very, very unique to understand. So we decided to apply this particular technique in our company. And it involved quite detailed steps. It was not just like going to a work and sort of do a photograph or take a video and capture it. But it was all about analyzing the steps in detail, identifying what are the key elements that must be sort of controlled to ensure. And it involved identifying where the failure modes are and how do we sort of tackle each one of them. What are the instructions that one needs to give to the operator? So it was identifying that. And it is with that storyboard you have to go and do the filming of your operation. You need to instruct the right way of doing it. And we did this for our pre-packing operation and later on for the final packing as well. And we prepared a visual SOP. And then we administered this SOP somewhere in the month of August, towards the end of last August. Can I have the AV, please? So this is just a snapshot of a small chapter. So sir, these are the 5 steps
Verify correctness of the material with part counter slip. Step 2. Count the number of boxes and compare with part counter slip. Step 3. Compare part counter slip with packing instruction. Step 4. Confirm part ID stickers for part numbers. Step 5. Check if material is stacked properly. Do's and don'ts for pre-packing. Step 1. Verify correctness of the material with part counter slip. Verify the correctness of the material with part counter slip.
So you can see.
Step 2. Count the number of boxes and compare with part counter slip. Count the number of boxes and compare with part counter slip.
So sir, you can see that the impact of a visual is quite good, because you are able to communicate things that you cannot write on your SOP. Like suppose holding a part. How do you hold a part when you insert it in a carton? It's extremely important. If you do it the wrong way, the carton will bulge, for example. Now these are the kind of small things that you can only explain through a visual SOP. I only kept a small snapshot, couldn't take the full SOP, but just the snapshot. The results were really staggering. As you can see, when we implemented this visual SOP somewhere in August, our scores dropped from 95 to 43. And we had a slight increase in the numbers also, because September being a period end month, we had a lot of more temporary workmen coming in. But you can see from September onwards, the scores have continuously been going down. And today we have already scored 21 by end of March, and the trend is continuing even in this year also. So we have found this technique to be very useful. So my experience with MIQ has been great. And for me, it was the formal exposure to quality. I have been in operations, I have been in procurement, I have been in various departments, but not in quality. This was the first year I was made responsible for a quality, and I decided to get a formal education for myself. The best part was the handholding by MIQ professors. So like Ashish, Rohit, these people have been helping us in these our projects. They come to our office, they help us in doing the handholding. That was the best part of the whole thing. And to me, it was like learn, apply, and excel. That was my theme throughout my last year. And it has changed my mindset to an excellence mindset. So thank you MIQ, and I really thank for Mahindra Management, which has allowed me to attend this excellent course. Thank you very much.